Okay, so tonight we're going to take a little diversion into something that we may or may not use in this contract. I think the data that we're storing is limited enough we may not do it, but it's called an event. So let's get started. An event is basically logging. However, in Ethereum, and it has the advantage of, as they discuss in this article here, that allows you to store things for less gas. So there's less cost to get the data, to store the data. So if you look here, it says logs were designed to be form of storage that cost significantly less gas than contract. So let's say it costs 8 gas per byte versus 20,000 gas per 32 bytes. However, they're not directly accessible for the contract, but there are ways around it, as demonstrated here. So here's a little crypto exchange example. You set up an event to deposit, sender, time, and then you have a function which calls this event. So that's put in the log now. But now we want to get the data. Well, if you have an instance of the event, which as this example shows here, is very simple. You can use the Web3.js library, ETH.contract at address, and that'll return to you well, here it is. So you can get the, let me see something because I'm forgetting what ABI is here. Okay. So let's see. ABI. Let me just double check that. The point is, though, that you can get it's not giving me a definition. Let's see. I wanted the definition of ABI. Let's see. Let's do it this way. Here we go. Okay. So it's basically the encoding. So they can use application programming interface is basically an interface into the code. The ABI is an application, so it's similar to an API. API stands for Application Programming Interface. It's essentially the interface into the library that you're working with. So let's say you have a library that defines something. It could define a Bitcoin, a coin of some sort. And you have certain methods that you call to interface with that. That's your API. It's, as they say here, a programmatic description. An ABI is essentially a binary. I guess it's a binary version of this. So, the difference is it's encoded in a binary. So anyway, if you have that and you have the contract address, you can get the instance. And once you have the instance, you can set up a watch, and the result will tell you. So basically, it's going to watch for, let's see, trigger with the disk. So when something happens, when deposit is called, this deposit event, it's saying watch this deposit event. So whenever someone deposits, it's going to go and it's going to get the stuff from the log. So it's not quite as convenient to use as putting it in straight code, but it allows for cheaper storage. So if you have, a fair amount of data that you're storing on your contracts, this might be a solution. So it's very interesting. I mean, like I said, it is, again, it was intended as logging, but it has some other uses in this world. Let me see here. So you can do a console log. See. So this is an example when you're returning value from an example, some kind of an example contract event. So let's see. I think so whatever our event is. Anyway, hopefully this has been helpful. Basically, you have a very sophisticated form of logging, which will allow you to retrieve the data. Again, it's not as convenient to use because, as they mention, I think in here, which one is it? Or is it one of these they mention? They talk about the fact that so it's accessible from the contract itself. When you give it the contract, it's not accessible from within contracts. So that's the thing. It's not like a typical contract where you may have some data stored within it. So again, this is another sort of trade-off thing. You're trading off how much you want to spend for the gas versus how often do you need to access it. Do you need to access it easily? Is it something that you're using to update? So that's the kind of considerations that you have to use. And of course, its most basic use is just logging. So anyway, hopefully this has been helpful to you, been useful, and if so, please give a like, please subscribe, please tell your friends, ring the bell so you get notifications of future videos, and I will speak to you next time.